Hello and welcome to January 1996. Today we're going to be looking at all the games reviewed in this issue. I'm going to do a deep dive, I'm going to play all the games, I'm going to show you some lovely gameplay footage, and there's 22 games to get through, so yeah, this might be a bit of a long one. Here's a bit of a quick sneak peek. First game we're going to be looking at is Doom, and here's the beautiful Doom artwork on the nice big box PlayStation version. I love that. And yeah, this one, as you'll see in the footage, if you've not seen Doom before, where have you been? But yeah, Doom is a fantastic game, and yeah, it's this special PlayStation edition, as it says here, is a combination of Doom, Ultimate Doom, and Doom 2. All mixed together in a single game. This review here goes into 4 pages. Yeah, 4 pages in total. And yeah, they really love this game, as they should. So this version of the game does have unique music, which you'll hear in the background here, which is very more atmospheric compared to the PC version. And because of that, it actually makes the game feel very different and feel kind of spooky and really interesting. So I really enjoyed playing this one. First of all, let's have a look at their conclusion. So they gave it a 9 out of 10 and said, easy to see why Doom was one of the biggest games on the PC, compelling gameplay with spine-tingling atmosphere and a sense of urgency. So yeah, I like I say, I really enjoyed playing through this one. I put a few hours into it, and yeah, I'll happily revisit it as well. So, you know, it's a simple idea. It's levels filled with kind of puzzles to solve, find keys, open doors, kill monsters. As you get further in, you get bigger guns and more exciting monsters. And yeah, it's just a very good, well thought out game, well put together, still a joy to play. And this is my favourite version of the game as well, because of that really good soundtrack, and of course the mixture of the 2/3 games all combined into one. So this game will get my first 9 out of 10 as well, because it's brilliant. Really good game, and yeah, one of the games to own if you've got a PlayStation. Next up is Mortal Kombat 3, and again there's the lovely golden box art, and the first of the cardboard boxes that we're going to be looking at. All 3 of them that were released in PAL territories are actually in this issue, and I think there's only 3 in total, but I've got those to look at. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 3, again I'll show the gameplay footage on the screen now. This review is 3 pages in total, and yeah, they really liked it. They said it's a fast action game, it's much faster than the previous entries. It does have the run feature now and the combos, and it's a much more challenging game as well, much harder than the previous entries. So they loved it. They give it another 9 out of 10 and said, an exceptional game and a brilliant conversion job. This is about as good and conventional combat as conventional combat games get. Next step, Mortal Kombat 3D? Well, that did happen next, yes. Well, maybe not next, but it happened soon. That was Mortal Kombat 4. What did I think of this one? Well, I absolutely loved this game as a kid, and I remember saving up my pocket money to to get Mortal Kombat 3 on the Mega Drive, and I played it to death. I invited my mates around, we played it loads, we uncovered loads of secrets, we found all the fatalities, well, we got the fatalities from the local magazines, and yeah, it was good as a kid. As an adult, and looking back on this series and comparing it to all the other fighting games I've played over the years, I'm really surprised, but it really doesn't hold up for me. I found the controls stiff, I found the characters pretty stiff, the running and the combos just didn't feel very natural, but I must admit I wasn't very good at pulling them off. Yeah, it was a disappointment, and I'm surprised at myself for that. I only feel this is maybe a 4 or a 5 out of 10 these days, and I think there's much better 2D fighters to play. Yeah, again, a little bit disappointed, unfortunately. So yeah, it's not a recommendation for me. If you love Mortal Kombat, I'm sure you'll still love this entry, but yeah, I didn't get on with it. It's a shame. On this next page, we've got the back end of the Mortal Kombat review and also ESPN Extreme Games, which is this one. Extreme was a very popular thing in the mid-90s, as we all know, and yeah, this game took these extreme sports such as skateboarding, BMXing, what else is there, luge, I think, and roller skates, or rollerblades it would have been, and put them into a fast-paced action game, or racing game, I suppose. It's yeah, well, you see what it is. The graphics aren't the best, but I've heard that it's a good bit of fun in multiplayer. First of all, what did the magazine think of it? Well, they also said the graphics aren't very good, and yeah, overall they said a triumph of design over content. ESPN initially makes you gasp, but on closer inspection the wrinkles reveal themselves. Uneducated fun, 6 out of 10. Yeah, my issue with this game is it's pretty limited. You've got your 4 carts, you 4 vehicles, I suppose, that you can upgrade. There's basically 4 stages, or at least it seems that way. And you just repeat and repeat and repeat until you've upgraded your vehicle. It just didn't strike me as much fun, to be honest. It's okay, I would say, with this one. I think I'd also put this one in that 4 out of 5 kind of, not 4 or 5, not 4 out of 5, 4 or 5 out of 10 category, where it's kind of bordering on being okay, might be fun in multiplayer, but not so much fun in single player. Yeah, probably give this one a miss. Next we have the almighty Tekken, and another cardboard box game. Say number 2 out of the 3 that I've got. And yeah, this one is Tekken. You've heard of Tekken, you've probably played Tekken. It's a very long running series, and this is where it all started. I remember playing this game in the arcade when it first came out, and it was really good. It was a big step up from Virtua Fighter in my opinion, although a lot of people still love Virtua Fighter. I much preferred this one. I thought the character movements were brilliant, the throw animations were a lot of fun, and yeah, just a great game back then. This is the 4-page spread, and again, they love this game. They say the graphics are fantastic, though not quite as good as Battle Arena Shinden, but I think this one stood the test of time a little bit better than that one. They gave it a 9 out of 10 and said a pugilist's dream. Tekken is quite simply the finest game around, unrivaled depth and playability. We score it a 9 and add more points anyway. It's the best. So they really loved it. And what did I think? It's a brilliant game. However, much like quite a few from the previous episode of this series, it kind of gets bettered by its sequels. Tekken 2 improves it massively, and Tekken 3 again even further forward. So it's nice to see where it all started, and it's still a playable game. It's still a good game, and it's a fun game. It's just that I'd rather be playing the sequels. But yeah, this one is fun. I would give it 7 out of 10. Again, even on single player, it's still interesting to try and get through the game and get the little video endings. And in multiplayer, obviously, games like this are always good fun. So yeah, 7 out of 10 from me for this one. This is Warhawk, and the final game from the cardboard box series. Lovely little box out there. And this one is it's a space shoot 'em up type thing. It's an interesting idea of a game. It's kind of like a scaled down version of Ace Combat, I suppose. A little more on the ground action. They really loved this game in this magazine. They said it was very good, very enjoyable. I didn't, but let's read what they say first. So, a genuinely rewarding, thrilling action experience. Very, very tough, but well worth the investment in time, patience, and lost sleep. Go get it. 8 out of 10. I found it to be maybe a little bit too tough, but that might be just because I'm only playing these sort of games in small chunks. I just didn't find it very engaging. I didn't want to find out what the next mission is. Like with Ace Combat, Air Combat I suppose it's called. I quite enjoyed finding out what the next mission is going to be. I found a good bit of variety. I know it's just shooting down planes and shooting ground targets, whereas this is a bit more involved. But I much prefer the Air Combat design overall. This one I didn't get that same sense of excitement or engagement. So yeah, for me this one is another 4 or 5 kind of game, kind of middling to below par, out of 10. Yeah, I don't think I'll be revisiting it, unfortunately. But yeah, if you at least like this sort of game, I'm sure you'll get a bit of fun out of it. But it didn't do it for me. Next we have Assault Rigs, which is a nice double box game here. This one was a big surprise for me. I really enjoyed it. As you can see from the footage, it's kind of a tank game, but it's more of a puzzle game. You kind of find your way through the levels. You've got to find certain paths to get to the end of the level, and all the levels are very different, and you upgrade your tank as you go through the game, or well, it kind of automatically upgrades itself as you go through the game, which keeps the variety quite interesting. The graphics were psychedelic but good. The sound was good. Yeah, I liked this one. First of all, let's see what they said. They also said it was a very good game, lots of puzzle elements, but they found it a little limited. So yeah, maybe after a longer time playing this, it maybe doesn't have much repeat playability. However, they did say a deceptively simple looking game with hidden depths. It makes a welcome change from races and beat-em-ups, and the 2-player game is a blast. 7 out of 10. I didn't play the 2-player game because I believe that is serial link only. So you'd require, well, as they put in this review, £1,000 worth of equipment in order to play this in 2-player, which seems a little bit much of an investment. But yeah, in single player I really enjoyed it. I spent a good few hours. I got about just less than halfway through the game, but I will be returning to this one because it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the levels. I enjoyed figuring out where to go, figuring out the puzzles, and the tank itself feels really good. The handling feels nice. So yeah, really good game, and the biggest surprise of this issue for me, I'd actually give this one 8 out of 10. I think it was a very, very good game, and I'll be playing it again, and I'd recommend anyone, because it's so cheap as this one as well. I think it only cost me £5 this game, so anyone out there, pick a copy up, especially if you see it for £5 or less. It's well worth it. Next we've got Viewpoint, which is this one, pretty generic, boring looking box, but that one is Viewpoint, and also we've got Robbie Fowler staring at us for some reason. Anyway, Viewpoint is a shoot 'em up in an isometric style, and its conversion, I believe, from Neo Geo or something like that. It's yeah, it's a pretty basic run-of-the-mill shoot 'em up. It's got some pretty cool enemy designs. The magazine didn't really like it that much. They said it's a bit dated. It suffers from poor scrolling, and yeah, a bit old-fashioned game. I suppose a lot of 2D games were seen that way. This is kind of pseudo 2D with its isometric perspective. And they give it a 5 out of 10 and said a truly gorgeous shooter. Currently first in the field of 1, but the difficulty and frustration factor means die-hard game fans need only apply. I did not like this game. I don't mind shoot-em-ups. In fact, I quite like a well-done shoot-em-up. This one did not feel good. The isometric viewpoint just meant the movement felt weird, because as you're going into the screen, it feels like you're slowing down. You're going across the screen, it feels like you're speeding up. Not only that, but this port is really... the slowdown is dreadful. Makes the game almost unplayable at times. Really jerky movements, and they did mention that in the review as well. It did make me buy an auto fire pad, because hammering the button is very annoying and you can't just hold down the button on this one for some reason. But yeah, I just didn't enjoy this one. It's, in my opinion, not a good port and not a good game. I'd like to try a better port of this, because like I said, the monster designs or the bad guys were interesting. But yeah, as it is right now, this game, probably a 3, 4 at best out of 10 for me. It's not very good. Next up is Wrestlemania, the arcade game, which is that one there, and our first WWF licensed game. And very different to any other wrestling game I've played. This is 2D, and it's made by Acclaim. Well, it's developed by Sculptured Software, published by Acclaim, and it very much feels like Mortal Kombat meets wrestling. All the moves are very over the top, and yeah, it was a lot of fun to play, actually. A bit of a surprise, this one as well. I wasn't sure how that would translate, but actually I really enjoyed it. I thought the 2D elements, 2D captured sprites, kind of like Mortal Kombat style digitized actors, were really animated very well. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. First of all, let's see what they said and what they gave it as. So they've put 8 out of 10, a genuine contender on the beat 'em up circuit. Not as accomplished as Mortal Kombat 3, but more hilariously entertaining than anyone would have expected. 8 out of 10. I don't think I'd give it quite 8 out of 10. I think I'm settling around the 7 out of 10 mark on this one, because it is a little bit repetitive. It's a really good game though. I enjoyed playing it through. I played it all the way to the end. Tried out all the characters. I'd say if it had a bigger roster, then it'd probably be higher up in my estimation. So maybe if it had 16 rather than 8, that would have made it a bit more interesting. 8's a little bit limited, I think, especially at this level. But yeah, the animations were a lot of fun. Pulling off the special moves was brilliant. All sorts of wacky action, really enjoyable, and it's my era of wrestling that I enjoyed as well. I certainly remember Razor Ramon and Bret the Hitman Hart as being favourites when I was a young lad. Yeah, all of these guys I remember. Even Doink was tolerable. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So 7 out of 10 for me. And yeah, definitely give it a go if you like a 2D beat 'em up, and if you like wrestling especially, then it's a lot of fun. I only played it in single player, and it was still great fun. I have played this in the arcade, and it was quite a bit better in the arcade, of course. And I did play multiplayer there, and that was, yeah, great fun. So yeah, give it a go. Great game. Next up is Loaded, and there's the nice big double box for Loaded. This one is it's a top-down shooting game, kind of twin stick style. I don't think it was twin stick though, but yeah, it's twin stick style. And yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of Gauntlet, I suppose, or that type of game. Alien Breed, you know, the ones, lots of enemies behind doors, and you've got to find your way around and find the key cards to open different doors. You've got several different characters. I think there's 6 in total. All have got different weapons. I only played through with one of the characters, but yeah, it was an interesting game. It's kind of just overkill on violence, in my opinion, and not much not much else. So it's just lots of violence, going around a level, getting to the end of the level, go on to the next one, rinse and repeat. So there's not much substance to it, but much as in the magazine it basically says disengage your brain and this is a fun game, basically. They give it a 7 out of 10 and they said explosive, exasperating, exciting, exterminating, energetic, enraging, it's technically brilliant, but loaded is big guns for small brains. 7 out of 10. I probably won't go that high because, like I say, I found it quite limited in what it does and what it is. The graphics were pretty cool though. I like all the lighting effects, look really nice. Yeah, it's satisfying thump to the weapons, I suppose, weight to the weapons. But yeah, it was very much rinse, repeat, carry on, do the same thing over and over and over. So for me, it's kind of sits somewhere in the 5 or 6 out of 10 range. So it's a decent enough game if there's not much else to play, and you want to give it a go. Then yeah, go ahead. But just don't expect too much depth. Next is Striker 96, or just Striker, according to the box. Oh, Striker 96 on the side of the box, who knows. This one is the first of 3 football games in this issue, which isn't a good thing. I actually quite like football games. I still play the modern FIFA games, but I must admit old football games I do struggle with. I find them a little bit meh most of the time. So, some are still fun, you know, like the Neo Geo ones, the arcadey type football games, but just the controls aren't the best, and yeah, I don't like revisiting old football games, generally speaking. I'm hoping to be proven wrong at some point, but this one didn't do it for me. The magazine also thought it was a bit meh. Yeah, they said its graphics are a little bit dated, it uses sprites for the players, and yeah, it's just not as good as what should be expected on PlayStation, is their kind of review. They give it a 6 out of 10 and said, doesn't offer enough in the way of continuity to earn the title of next generation, but despite the flaws in the gameplay, it does just about enough to entertain the gamer. I wouldn't go as far as 6 out of 10, but again, I don't think old football games age very well. This one kind of feels a little bit like a bad Sensible Soccer game. So if you tried to put Sensible Soccer into 3D and just didn't do a very good job of it, that's kind of how this feels. The passing didn't feel very accurate. In fact, it felt terrible. And yeah, I just didn't enjoy playing the game. I mean, look at the graphics for yourself and decide if you think this is the sort of game you'd enjoy. But I didn't. I didn't enjoy it, and I would give this as low as a 3 out of 10. Yeah, not my favourite, but if you like that Sensible Soccer type of feel to a football game, then you might get something out of it, I guess. And to get into the quickfire reviews now. So first of all, we've got the Starblade Alpha, which is a lovely big box art again. Really nice, that one. The game, on the other hand, isn't the best. It's an arcade game which has been converted to PlayStation. They've added some textures well, you've got an option of playing in the original arcade graphics or with textured graphics, which is a slight upgrade. It doesn't really add anything to the game, of course. It's still the same gameplay, and this is a rail shooter, as you can see from the footage. Pretty simple, pretty okay if you like this sort of game. I didn't feel the shooting felt very weighty to me. I felt it felt very light and unresponsive. Anyway, let's have a look at what they said first of all. So they didn't like it too much either. They basically said prettier than a winning lottery ticket, slicker than snot, but easier than a leather-clad nymphomaniac in a monastery. 5 out of 10. Interesting way to put that. So yeah, I also didn't really care that much for it. It is mouse compatible, according to this. I didn't actually try it with a mouse, I just played it with a pad. There's just not much of a game there. It's like 20 to 30 minutes, if that. In fact, it might not even be that. And once you get to the end, that's it. You've done it. what else is there to do? I think it's just for people who enjoyed the arcade game. I wasn't one of those. I've never played this in the arcade, but I know friends that have. But yeah, there's just not much game here. It's a very short, it's a short thrill ride, I guess, and then it's over and done with. So yeah, not for me, this one. I think probably 4 out of 10, to be generous, I guess. Anyway, let's go on to the next one on this page. So they've got Raiden next, which is this one, Raiden Project. This one is a lot more interesting. This game, as you can see from the graphics, it's a top-down shoot 'em up, traditional style, scrolling shoot 'em up, and yeah, really good actually. This consists of 2 games, that's Raiden 1 and Raiden 2, or Raiden if you prefer. And yeah, they both games are good. Second one is definitely better overall graphically, and it's also quite a bit easier. Kind of like we saw in the previous issue with Parodius, the second game just makes it all a little bit easier and lets you carry on playing with extra power-ups. And yes, I find it more accessible, but obviously the first one's there for a challenge. Both games have got alternate soundtracks as well, so you can either listen to the arcade music or the PlayStation variation. And yeah, both games are a lot of fun. The weapons are cool. I love the gradual upgrades with the weapons, which again is pretty traditional for these kind of games and what you expect. And yeah, the variety of enemies was decent. Bosses were okay as well. I found this a decent game overall. They said they give it a 7 out of 10, and they said bloody good fun and reams of brash explosions to tease the eye. This is a perfect conversion, just don't expect graphical excellence. Of course, with it being a 2D game, they wouldn't have liked that. They were very anti-2D at this period. But yeah, because it's 2D, it still looks really good today, as you can see from this footage. Graphically, absolutely beautiful, especially the second one. The second one has nice little, almost particle effects, I suppose, when you shoot things down. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'd agree with the 7 out of 10 verdict on this one. If you like a shoot 'em up and you don't want it to be too tough, then this is a really good game. It's not bullet hell, it's just a good quality shoot 'em up. Yeah, get it if you like that sort of thing. Next we got Alone in the Dark, Jack is Back, which is this one here. This is a 3D action game, not quite survival horror, but kind of going towards that genre, I suppose. Quite a little bit before Resident Evil came out, we had Alone in the Dark. And yeah, this one, as you can see from the graphics, it looks much more dated than Resident Evil, but kind of charming in that early polygony sort of way. They liked this one in the magazine. They gave it an 8 out of 10 and said, a unique gaming experience. This is one of the most playable and picturesque adventures around. Shame about the ropey texture mapping though. I didn't like this one. I don't know if it's because I played Resident Evil first, and obviously that series is fantastic, or not, because this still uses tank controls, but it's really awkward. The shooting's accuracy is really bad. It just doesn't feel good. The controls feel awful, really jerky, really awkward. The atmosphere is decent though. They did nail that side of it. Lots of enemies to encounter, but generally overall it's just very slow and a little bit dull, in my opinion. So I'd actually half their score and give this one a 4 out of 10. I don't believe it's worth playing unless you've got a high tolerance for jankiness. I think my tolerance for jankiness isn't too bad. This was too janky even for me. Another double game spread here. So first we've got Twisted Metal, which again, lovely big box. I think that's the most expensive game I had to buy for this run of reviews. I'm surprised it's only got a one-page spread here. I guess they didn't expect it to become such a prominent series. So yeah, they criticised the graphics and said it's just a bit unoriginal. Overall, they said as viciously competitive as any of the finest two-player games out there, even the workman-like visuals can't mask the scorching classic lurking beneath. 7 out of 10. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. I've played Twisted Metal 1 and 2. I think that's the only ones in the series I've played. I played a lot more of 2 than 1 when I was younger. That was a really fun game to play with your friends. This one, obviously, I've just played in single player, and it's still a lot of fun. It's still a great game. It took me a while to get used to it again, so get used to the weapons, and having to heal regularly is the best way to get through the game. But I played it all the way through, all the way to the end. I had to use the monster truck in the end, which I thought was the best car to try and complete the game with. And yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it. They give it a 7 out of 10, and I'd also give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's a really good game. I don't think it's one of the best things ever, but it's still a lot of fun to play through. So yeah, give that one a go. And the next game on this page is PGA Tour 96, which is a rather boring EA Sports box there. It's a golf game. It's kind of pretty, but it's mostly 2D sprites on a 3D surface, so yeah, it's nothing too special. They gave it an 8 out of 10 and said a fair way to describe PGA, an enormously engaging, addictive golf game which will take days from your life. Shame about the dearth of courses though, and yeah, 8 out of 10. Yeah, I think there's only 2 courses from memory when I played this. It's a golf game. Golf games for me have aged better than football games, so I did get through a whole round of 18 holes. I don't know my golf terms. It's not a sport I watch. I do enjoy playing the games, but yeah, not a sport I watch myself. But yeah, it's an okay game. It's fine. It's got the traditional swing method. Do they call it an ABC swing or something like that? But it was okay. I found it quite difficult. I'm not the best at this sport anyway. But it's okay. There's not much more to say about it. It's an okay game. I'd give it a 5 or a 6. You know, average sort of score. Nothing too special, but if you like golf games, add it to your collection, give it a go. You've got a couple of courses to play on there. Enjoy. Next we got FIFA Soccer 96. The first of, I'm sure, many FIFA games. Obviously a series that is still going now, although it's lost the FIFA license. But yeah, this is the 96 version, and much like I said earlier on the Striker 96, old football games don't age that well. This one is okay. The graphics are, again, mostly not great, but it's alright. The camera angles are not much fun to play around with. I couldn't find a camera angle that I really liked. Yeah, well, let's read what they said first. So they said, FIFA, while an undeniably impressive and thorough soccer sim, isn't quite the game many people had hoped for. It warms the console rather than sets it on fire. 7 out of 10. Yeah, it controls better than Striker. When you pass the ball, it goes to the player you want it to go to most of the time. But it's still not a good game. It still doesn't feel good to play old sports games like this, so I'll quickly move on. I give this a 3 out of 10, I believe, again. So yeah, it's not great, but it's a lesson in history, let's call it. Thankfully, the last of the football games. This is Goalstorm, which is this one here. Rather expensive game, this one. So I'm guessing it didn't sell very well. But it's actually the one that they rated the highest in the magazine. They praised its really good graphics and yeah, the gameplay being better than the other two by some way. They said, in combining large, stylish, angular polygon graphics with a playable arcade engine, Konami has succeeded in producing an intuitive sports game we like. 8 out of 10. This is the best of the sports games that I've played, football games I've played I should say, but it still doesn't feel great. It was probably the easiest as well. I thought scoring goals was a lot easier on this one, but this, again, just these old sports games, old football games just don't control very well for me. If you know about the history of this one, this was the first game in the Winning 11 series, which is in Europe is called Pro Evo. So you'll recognise that one, I'm sure, which was a long-time competitor for FIFA, and this is where it all started, over here on the PlayStation as Goalstorm. But again, doesn't hold up that well, so give it a miss unless you like playing janky old football games. Closer to the end now, so next to this lovely old advert from PlayStation Direct Limited, some sort of mail order PlayStation company, we've got Worms. There is Worms, nice big box. And obviously, I think a lot of people will know what Worms is. This is the first iteration of a very long-running series from Team 17, who are actually just based down the road from me in Ossett. And yeah, this was the first game. I originally played this on PC and Amiga back in the day. The PlayStation version is, yeah, very much the same sort of thing. The main difference on the PlayStation version is you get fun little cutscene animations in between rounds, which as a kid I found absolutely fascinating, and I remember just sitting in a game shop or standing in the game shop just watching all the animations play out as they had it on a screen in the store. But yeah, this one, they give it a 7 out of 10, and they said, although visually off-putting, the intense gameplay compensates for the lack of polygons, but don't expect to be playing 2 months down the line. This one is a lot of fun in multiplayer. In fact, it's one of my favourite games in multiplayer, or certainly this series is. I tend to play the later games more. Again, this one suffers from having much better sequels, but it still holds up pretty well. I still enjoyed playing this one. Even in single player, it's good fun. You can set the computer opponents to different skill levels. Obviously, got all the different weapons. It's just still a good game. They give it a 7 out of 10. I'm also going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think it still holds up well. It's just obviously the sequels are the better games overall. But yeah, worth playing. Okay, so the last section here is the roundup section, where they tend to lump all the rather rubbish games at the back of the magazine here. So let's go through them. So starting with Cybersled, which is this one here, which I got from Australia because it's rather obscure over here. And yeah, they give this one a 4 out of 10. As you can see from the graphics on the screen, this is kind of a tank combat game. Think kind of arena combat, so you know, like virtual on style. They give it a 4 out of 10 and said a desperately flawed version of a non-too original coin-op. After the glories of Ridge Race and Air Combat, Namco should apologise to everyone for this sad effort. And yeah, it's not very good. I agree with the conclusion there. It's just not a very good game. The problem with this one, I'd say, well, first of all, the controls are dreadful. I tried both control schemes, and I even tried the Negcon. The Negcon was probably the easiest control method, but all of them felt terrible. Just did not feel in control of the craft at all. The second control scheme was barely playable, so I don't know why that one even exists. But despite the cool looking crafts, the variety is not the best. You basically just kind of go up to your enemy and shoot them as quickly as possible, and if you get all your missiles off in time, then you win the round. If you miss one of your missiles and they don't, then they win the round. It's just a bit pants. Not much fun. Next game on this list here is Novastorm, another nice big box game. Novastorm is a FMV shooter or shmup. Slightly better than Cybersled in my opinion, although they got them the opposite way around on their review of it. They give this one a 3 out of 10 and said a brave attempt at harnessing the power of full motion video with gameplay, which fails miserably. Please do not approach this game under any circumstances. It's not terrible, it's just not much fun. It's your typical FMV rail shooter. The levels are at least do have a little bit of variety, but once you start to get further in, it's just the noise of shooting and you can't really see what's going on. There's no weight to any of it. It's just a bit meh overall. It's not a good game. It's worth a playthrough once perhaps, I'd say, and it's nice to have it on my shelf and it's double box. That's about as good as I can say for it. I'd say it's a 4 out of 10 myself, but yeah, nothing too exciting. Next is Cyberspeed, which is this one here. Hard to see, quite a dark box. This is one I'd not actually heard of, which is a rarity because I feel like I know the PlayStation catalog quite well. But yeah, this one completely slipped me by. Again, as you can see from the gameplay footage, it's a weird one. It's you kind of attached to a beam of light, and you go around the levels on this beam of light, and you steer into the corners to go faster, and yeah, it's just very strange. I liked the originality, I suppose, of the bizarreness of it. First of all, what did they say? They said 3 out of 10, said the standard of competition deems Cyberspeed surplus to requirements. It's ill-conceived, poorly realised, and ultimately a pointless exercise. Avoid. 3 out of 10. I'd give this one a 4. Again, it's still not a good game. It's just a bit different, and that's the only reason I give it an extra point, is that I don't think I've ever played anything quite like it. But it still doesn't play very well. It still felt a bit awkward. It wasn't a good game. But yeah, a little bit different. And then final game is Power Serve Tennis, or just Power Serve as it says in the box. Another game I've never really come across, but I wouldn't pay too much attention to tennis games anyway. Tennis is not a sport I care too much about. However, I have played very good tennis games. Smash Court springs to mind as being a very fun tennis game from Namco. This one is not a good tennis game. In fact, it is, I would say, a terrible tennis game. The default camera angle is bizarre, and I don't know why anyone would choose to use it. But once you change the camera angle to a normal over-the-top camera angle, it plays like a tennis game, but it's just too slow and laggy, and you just can't time your swings right, and it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like fun. It feels like a challenge, and not a good one at that. So this actually will be my lowest score so far. I'm giving this one a 2 out of 10. Not a good game. Do not play it. Oh, sorry, I forgot to read their review of it. They said 3 out of 10. You'll have to be the world's biggest tennis fan to buy this one, and blind. In 2-player mode, there's limited fun to be had, but the music will finish you off. I actually thought the music was good. That's the only redeeming factor of the game for me, was the music. But there you go. I agree that it's a terrible game and no one should play it. And that's the end of the roundup. That's it for another episode of this. Quick roundup of my favourites at the end. So we've got Assault Rigs on the back of the magazine here, and I've got to mention that was my biggest surprise of this one. So I give that one an 8 out of 10, and yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'm surprised how much fun it was. And then obviously the favourite was Doom, of course. Great game, Doom. Still brilliant, and the PlayStation version is, in my opinion, the best version of this game. For the music, if nothing else, it's worth playing through. So that's it. If you enjoyed watching this, obviously, as usual, leave me a like. I would really appreciate any comments as well. I do want to know how we can improve this series going forwards. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see more of this. I'll be going on to issue 3 next. And same thing, playing all the games, reviewing all the games, giving my opinions, you know, all that jazz. Bye for now.